I recently heard about a new rider lose 2,300 quid on a car park drop because they bought the dream bike too soon. Before you sign up for that shiny beast, watch this. I'm going to show you the strategy smart riders use to ride for a year for free while everyone else is paying a beginner tax they don't even know exists. Right, so here's how the story usually goes. Someone passes a test, the buzzing, months of lessons, CBT, theory, the whole thing. And they've earned it. They walk into a dealership and there it is, gleaming, brand new, a bike that costs more than some people's first car. And the dealer says, you can handle this. And maybe a few YouTube videos said the same thing. And honestly, it feels true. So they buy it. And then, week two, they're pulling out of a petrol station or they're in a car park or they're taking a bend a little faster than they're meant to, and down it goes. Now, I'm not telling you this to be rash. I'm telling you because the forums and the Reddit threads are full of these stories. Riders who've been there, who've learnt the hard way. A low speed drop on a brand new bike, just a tip over in a car park, can cost you £500 to £2,000 in fairing repairs alone. And the moment a new bike gets dropped, the resale value falls off a cliff. So this isn't a rare story, it's almost a rite of passage, and it absolutely doesn't have to be yours. Falling for the new bike trap is easy, but later on I'm giving you the exact script to use in the showroom so you can walk out with a deal and not a debt. So why does this keep happening? Why do new riders keep buying more bike than they're ready for? Well, there are three reasons, and some of them might surprise you. Reason one is the dealer. Look, I'm not trying to trash dealers. Most of them are decent people, but they're running a business. And as one very experienced forum rider put it, the dealers, they're trying to sell you the most expensive bike you can afford. That's just commerce. When you walk in fresh from passing your test, full of confidence and ready to spend money, a dealer is not going to talk you down to a cheaper bike. They're going to show you the shiny one. And it'll look incredible because it is. Reason two, social media, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. The riders you follow online are mostly not riding 125s. They're on performance bikes, big adventure bikes, big twins. That's what gets the views. And after watching enough of that content, a sensible starter bike can start to feel like settling. It isn't, but it can feel that way. And then reason three, you don't want to look like a beginner or a rookie. And here's the thing, you are a beginner right now, and that is completely fine. Every single rider you admire was a beginner once. The ones who are still riding today, they respected that stage. They didn't rush it. The fastest way through the beginner phase is to actually go through it on a bike that forgives you mistakes instead of one that punishes them. So it's easy to feel like you're settling, but what if I told you there's a sensible choice that is actually the only way to get your dream bike faster, and here the maths that the dealerships won't show you. All right, so here's where we actually fix this. There's a strategy used by smart new riders all over the country that I call the starter bike strategy, and it's beautifully simple. Buy used, ride for 12 months, and sell roughly what you paid it for it. That's it, the whole strategy. So here's how it works in practice. You buy a used 125 to 400cc bike, something like a Honda CB125 or a Yami YBR125, Honda CB500, and you're looking at somewhere between 1,500 and £3,000 for a decent bike. You ride it all year, you build your skills, you drop it, because you will drop it, and that is absolutely normal, and it costs next to nothing to fix. Maybe a scratch in a bar end, maybe a scuffed exhaust. And then after a year, you've got a year of real-world riding under your belt. You know what kind of riding you actually enjoy, and you sell the starter bike for close to what you paid, because you use bikes at that price point hold the values really well. You walk back into the dealership, but this time you walk in as a rider, not a new license holder. You know what you want, you know how to handle a machine, and you can spend properly on a bike that suits the rider that you've actually become, and not the one you imagined you'd be one day. So that's not settling, that's a smart play. So even if you follow the starter bike strategy, even if you buy used and sensible, there's one more thing that you can do before you take the bike out for the first time. Fit frame sliders or crash bobbins. Small protective knobs that bolt onto the side of the frame, usually the engine mounts, and they stick out just far enough that if the bike goes over, they hit the ground before the fairing does. Make sure you spend money on decent frame sliders. Cheap ones won't do you any favours. Check out reviews and forums for advice. They can take an hour or two to fit, and they can be the difference between a small scuff and a £1,500 repair bill. A lot of new riders don't really know these exist. They might have seen them during their training. A lot of training bikes have these on. A lot of experienced riders wish someone had told them sooner. And now you know. And while we're here, there's a mindset shift I want you to make right now before you've ever ridden your bike out. And just say, I will drop this bike, not if, when, because it more than likely is going to happen. It's not pessimism. It's probably the most liberating thing you can tell yourself as a new rider. Because once you accept that a drop is coming at some point, for almost everyone, you stop riding in a state of quiet terror. You budget for it, you choose a bike that can handle it well, you fit the sliders. When it happens, you pick the bike up, check yourself over and carry on. Because riding should be a joy. That mindset is what keeps it a joy. Okay, the last thing, you're going to walk into a showroom at some point, and maybe you already have. So here's how you play it when you go in there. Before you go in, decide your budget and your maximum engine size. Write it down if you need to, and keep those two numbers as like anchors in your brain. Whatever the dealer shows you, whatever gets wheeled out under the showroom lights looking gorgeous, you don't move those anchors. You keep them where they are. When you're in there, be genuine, friendly, ask lots of questions, enjoy it. But when the sales guy starts nudging you towards something bigger or newer, you've got a line ready. Just say, I've done my research, I've made my decision, and I'm looking for something in this range. You don't need to explain yourself. You're the customer, right? You know what you're doing. And honestly, any decent dealer is going to respect that. There aren't many, but there may be some that push harder after you give them that line. Well, now you know something useful about that dealer if that's what they're trying to pull. So here's a quick recap. Buy used for your first bike, full stop. Stay in the 125 to 400cc range for your first year. Use the starter bike strategy. Buy, ride, sell, and upgrade properly. Get those frame sliders on there, crash bobbins before your first ride. Accept in your head the drop is coming. It might not happen, but you plan for it. So if it does, you're covered. Pre-decide your budget before you walk into that showroom. So that's how you save yourself thousands of pounds, and that's how you build real confidence. And that is how you set yourself up to be the kind of rider who's still riding and still loving it 10 years from now. So if this helps, share it with anyone who's just passed the test or is about to, and I'll see you in the next one.